Okay, where do I even start? Probably start by actually bringing my fucking mic back up on my table while I load up League of Legends. Okay, anyone that's been here literally any amount of time, unless you're new here, would know why there's a solo episode. It basically means I've read something that is gravely upsetting and makes me incredibly angry. And it's about... I'm blind versus League of Legends. Right, and it's about the same story last time, Giant Slayer. And like, dude... It's Jack again, the main character, the protagonist, whatever you want to call him. I just don't like him. I don't like him at all. The way he goes about things and the way he does things is like reasonable 99% of the time. And not like 1% of the time they're not. But I'm like, every human's like entitled to that 1% of the time. But like, oh my god, dude, I've never seen a person with such a weird murder boner. Like, that's all I can describe it as. And that's what they describe it as in the story half the time. Like, it's not even he does things for no reason, but he does things for what only appear to be like no reason. I'm sorry to say. You know what I mean? Right, okay, so he's fighting Pierre this time, right? Like, literally just like a match, right? And like, the match with Pierre is whatever. He beats her ass, like, completely and utterly. You know, but like, he's really like fucking rude about it, to say the least. Like, zero cap. Like, the whole time he's like, oh, you know, that's what, you know, fighting in tournaments will get you. And it's like, that's just fucked. Right? Like, it's just like completely demeaning, like, all of the training she's been doing. Right? Which is, like, just fucked. Like, just a disrespectful and, like, fuck thing to do to begin with. Alright? Like, the entire time, right? He, like, he has a weapon, right? He uses it at the beginning for one, and then does another maneuver with it, and then literally punches her out. Like, it's unfortunate to watch. Or read about in this instance, right? What has me so, like, overwhelmingly tilted is what after, right? He knocks Pierre the fuck out. Like, just wall in, like, unconscious, like, you know, bleeding everywhere. Puts her ass in the infirmary. Okay, now, I understand it's combat class, right? People are bound to get hurt. But it's like, you know, when you honestly gotta have, like, a protective force field and all this other shit, you'd assume, you know, it doesn't honestly take that much, like, decorum to just not knock someone the fuck out. Like... Not even else, whatever. It's the final class of the day for the reason. But, like, you don't need to put them in the infirmary for, like, no reason. Like, yeah, like, the 3 people he knocks out in the first thing, whatever. Like, they had it coming to them, it was, like, deserved. Pierre's been nothing but nice to this man. And he was like, dude, let me just go satisfy my murder boner. And he just, like, destroyed her. Like, dude, like, I understand finishing a battle and, like, duking it out. But it's just, like, dude... You didn't have to, like, hit her with, like, the roll. Like, just, like, punch after punch. And then punch her into the wall after knocking both her weapons away. And then, like, she's unconscious, now bleeding. And then you have the balls to get angry when John comes around, like, dude! He's like, dude, you know, sorry, but he's like, you know, don't do that. So, okay, John reasonably gets up fucking sad. Pierre just got the shit knocked out of her, like, knocked out, and, like, looks like she's, like, dying against the wall, brother. Like, what did you expect him to do? Jack's, like, you know, Jack's literally sitting here like, dude, don't do that, John, because he sees what John's about to do. John's about to fight him, or try to, fail. It's John, when John don't know nothing, like. John's not winning that battle, no capital, no. Like, I'm sorry to tell you, John, but you're not winning that. Right? And I'm fine admitting that, like, it's whatever. Like, Jack's good. Jack's been fighting for his life for years on end. Right? But you have to, like, you can't... He gets upset. Like, he gets angry at John. Right? John's, like, looks at him with like a hate-fueled rage, about to do something very stupid because he's really mad, which is like fair enough, happens to the best of us. And then Jack goes, disarms him, puts his gun in his mouth, and he's like, eh. And Miss Goodwitch is like, can you take your gun out of his mouth? He's like, not until he calms the fuck down. You don't threaten someone at gunpoint with your fucking slug axe that's going to fire a 12-gauge slug up his head. It, like, if you don't want them to be, like, continue being mad. Like, dude. Like, if someone was like, put their 12-gauge shotgun in my mouth, I'd be fucking furious. But in his head, he's like, dude, he came at me. I don't know why he's mad. I don't know, maybe just because he knocked his partner out unconscious and all you had to say for it was like, sorry. Didn't even go to check if she was fucking okay. You're like, she's alive. Shit, dude, she might have not been. Right, and it's just like, dude, like, you can't be, like, needlessly aggressive and demeaning for no fucking reason when the person's been nothing but nice to you. And then when someone gets upset that you knocked them the fuck out, they just be like, dude, fuck you, and put your gun in their mouth. Like, you know how fucked that is on, like, a conceptual level? Don't touch me, bitch. Hey, am I the only melee on this team? God damn it. That means I'm going full tank for Necton. I hate when I have to do it, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Especially when they have two tanks and it's not just squishy backline. What even killed me? Okay. Lux autoed me, I'm mad. I won't lie, I'm mad. But it's just like... Like, I'm fine with reading characters I don't like. Like, if I don't like the main character, I'm fine with that most of the time. But it's just like, dude, why the moaner, bro? Like, the murder boner, brother? Calm the fuck down. I hate that that's the off-meta items they picked for Renekton. There's so many better ones, and that's the ones they picked. I'm so mad. But no, it actually, like, I read it, and I was, like, legitimately upset about it. Like, I read it up to before he put the gun in John's mouth, and I was already upset about it. Because I know he was about to do something, and I wasn't gonna like it. Then I saw he put the gun in John's mouth, and then told him to calm the fuck down. You don't put your gun in someone's mouth and tell them to calm down. You disarm him and tell him to calm down. You can disarm and humiliate him all you want. You don't put, like, your weapon in someone's mouth and then tell them to calm down. That's just not how that works, brother. Like, if you want him to calm down, at least mean it. Like, truly. Like, you're here to be a huntsman and do better in the world. I know you're not here to play around and do kitty shit, but, like, dude, huntsmen are supposed to be, like, decent people. You know what I mean? You know, imagine being out here being a hunter, right? Some dude comes at you because, you know, like, say someone, like, I don't know, someone that honestly didn't do anything wrong. Like, family was associated or something. Did it give me press the attack? Or do I have press the attack? Press the attack's fine on Renekton, I just don't like it. I would have preferred fucking Conquer. I saw the circle, I was confused. Right? But it's just like, you can't, like, be like, they're in the wrong here. And I'm like, dude, learn how to de-escalate a situation. Like, trust me, I'm all for, like, his thing is, like, words are always the answer, except when they don't work, so, like, violence is never the answer until words don't work. That's, like, hog advice, no cap. right? Like, I understand that. Like, that's, like, honestly sound advice. What's not, like, sound advice is being like, oh, dude, it's just, like, never attempting to de-escalate a situation. There was no talking it out. There was you put his gun in your mouth. Your gun in his mouth. You can't say something like, yeah, you know, violence is all, you know, violence is now the answer until talking doesn't work, and then not try to talk to him. And, okay, that's disingenuous. He did try to talk to him. He said, John, don't do that. I know what you're about to do. Don't do it. What does he think that's gonna do? Learn how to de-escalate a situation. Violence is never the answer until you've given, you know, peaceful negotiations a good try. And let me tell you, that's not a good try. That is a bad try. A very bad try. Like, I know this isn't what your choice of profession, but you're gonna, it's like, he wants to do this to increase Faunus notoriety and, like, a good, like, effectively a good job. Right? In, like, a position of power, effectively, which hunters have access to. Like, Remnant's not the most might make right place, but it definitely is, like, a factor of their, like, culture. Right? With hunters and everything. But it's like, dude! You know, I know you're not your profession of choice, and in, like, worst case scenario, you're just gonna go back to the white thing. Like, that's a legitimate, like, option in your brain. But, like, bro. Like, if you're gonna do something, you're gonna try to commit to something like this, at least try. Like, at least actually try. Instead of just being, like, needlessly aggressive. Like, needlessly aggressive, rude, and just, like, borderline, just, like, antagonistic towards literally everyone. Or not even everyone. It's, like, specific people for what seems to be no reason. Like, he says he learned to be indifferent. I caught you lacking. And then your set flash ulted me, you rat bastard. I caught her lacking, said I deserved that. Right, but then, like, you can't, like, say this. It's like, because he's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm indifferent to humans. You know, they're all capable of being assholes, but, you know, on a personal basis. And then being like, all humans are assholes by going up to random people that seemingly have no problem at all, and being, like, needlessly antagonistic. You know, like, do you have a personal problem with Pyrrha and John that you're just not telling me? Like, I literally exist within your brain stem, dude. That's not true. There are stories written in third person. No, that's only partially true, too. But it dips in and out of thoughts and stuff. So it's third person, but still. It's like, but yeah, no. Just needlessly aggressive and like... Dude, why is their Ash 7 miles away? Honestly, I did not dodge that. I wanted to say I dodged that. I respect the hustle, son. You tried to save me. But it's just like, I don't get it. I don't, like, at all. Like, I just don't understand, like, don't get me wrong, I'm all one for a good murder boner, but, like, direct the murder boner at someone that deserves it. Not Pyrrha. Pyrrha's been nothing but nice to you. Like, and it's like, it literally, you randomly seem to have problems with people. Dude, he was fine with Pyrrha earlier, like, talking at the table the day when John made him upset. Which apparently he wasn't that upset over, but he never tells us why he was upset, because he was clearly upset for some reason. It's like, would you like to share with the class? I don't understand. Like, I don't. The story is good, and like, it lines up. It at least lines up somewhat with like his character motivation. But it's like, dude, you still just don't need to be such an asshole about it. I get you get your rocks off on killing people, specifically humans, because I'm not gonna lie to you, he swears to the high heavens he's not like racist back. Well, let me tell you, he's just as racist. And it's like. Like if you beat up someone's fucking dog because it bit someone and they got mad when they rushed you and killed them. Like truly, like that's the provoked attack. That's your fault. Damn, dusted him. Right, but like I was so I was just upset because I read it and I am like you're mad for no reason, like he. Right, and then Glenda obviously is like, you know, dial it back some, but she also is with John. She's like, you have to be more calm-headed as a leader, and I'm like. I get that. Like, that's a reasonable assessment. But, like, I was just like, what do you want? Like, what's your shit, brother? Like, truly, like, I'm usually not one to ask what's your fucking problem, dude. Well, honestly, at this point, what's your fucking problem, dude? Yeah, no, I was just like, I was really upset about that. Because, like, truly, like, I really hope they explain what his problem is. Because, he has a problem, and I'm like, dude, I understand having, like, a problem. But, like, having a motor butter out for everyone that isn't, like, Ruby, that's, like, sitting there, like, actively, like, attempting to understand your culture, it's just, like, just disingenuous to, like, everything you say you stand for. You can't be like, oh yeah, dude, I try, you know, after my experience in Dragon's Tip, I'm not, you know, I'm more indifferent. I'm not really a racist anymore, right? It's purely personal grudges. I don't believe that bullshit when you start showing me a personal grudge against people you clearly have a fucking issue with. Shit, dude, it'd make more sense if you had an issue with Blake, because he even talks about Blake, how he doesn't like people hiding their fucking animal traits. You having a problem with Blake would make a lot more fucking sense than you having a problem with literally everybody else. Like, literally anybody else. Oh, she had Ranger's Focus on us. Ranger's Focus, Q, it's whatever. But yeah, it's just like, it actually, like, it truly upsetted me when I read that. Because it's like, how, like, he prays the high heavens that he's, you know, he hates people for personal reasons. Dude, the minute you fuck someone up that bad and then can cite a personal a personal slight against your person is the day I'll believe that sentence. I just was after him. If I did that properly, I would have just ignited, walked away. But I'm not gonna like that. I got greedy. But it's just like, and he won't like. It's not that he won't admit it, but like, he shows no signs of thinking like he has a problem with anybody, or no, or that he's quite possibly like an issue and like a factor in the issue. It's like, maybe you want to look at yourself for a second, dude. Like you preach to the like. Maybe you preach to the choir too often. You know, I think you need to go into, you know, I don't know, because I don't know what a concession booth does. Rat bastard. Right, but it's just like, I need him to like acknowledge or like something to be like, dude, I think you're pushing it to a weird extreme. Like, I think that's what he's doing. Like, probably a purely personal opinion, but like, I really think like he's taking, like, he's internalized to the point where he doesn't think, you know, he's like, yeah, dude, I'm not racist anymore. You know, I had an experience where I'm like, oh, you know, humans can be good folks. Sort of, maybe. I'm more indifferent now. And then, like, randomly have, like, a huge problem with people. And say you don't. Like, thought you're laughing, too. I didn't clip something? Honestly, got me fair and square. Caught me lacking. Lacking and greedy, this specifically. But it's just like, it upset me greatly. Oh shit, dude. Guardian's Horn effects real good. No capital? Wait a moment. Alright, but Guardian's Horn? 12% block damage from attacks and spells? That's really good. That man's ultimate hit me for fucking 800 damage. I don't like fighting set. It makes me upset. Take that pun as you will, fuck. No, I'm gonna continue reading this, and it's like, because it's right after the battle. It was something like Pierre's talking to Osborne, right? And he's like, dude, he fought like a man possessed, you know, because you got their hands full. You're like, he fought like a man trying to survive, and I'm like, you think that after all those survival situations, he'd be much better at like gauging his strength and ability to like fit the circumstance? Because not last time I checked, survival isn't a fight, you know, a burst fight. Survival's a, you know, a long-term engagement most of the time. You know, I'm no, like, survivor. I've never been put in the woods before. I'm a modern-day citizen that sits inside their house and plays video games all day. But I can't help but be a little upset when he's being disingenuous. Did she really kill them? anyone but their set, please. I'm not fighting their set, that's a good meme. I'll avoid their set till the day I die. So that's a bad champion that shouldn't be in the game. I don't know who else did okay acting. I'm just gonna give it to fucking, I don't know, Zig. I saw Zig throw some nutty ultimates. Yeah, no, that's been my fucking TED Talk.
Live and die by the blade.
Like, and I'm not gonna lie, there's more than one reason why I have a problem with it. It's the fact that no one else does. I'm gonna tell it to you straight. My problem with it is that no one else has a problem with it. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a school for fighters. Like, these people are used to a certain level of brutality and a certain level of, like, combat and, like, acceptance of getting hurt. And, like, getting their ass beaten, whatever. And, like, bodily harm and the way people go about this, blah, blah. No one, not a singular person has been brought up that has a problem about it that isn't racist. That's, honest to God, my main issue. It's like, don't get me wrong. It's a story. Like, take your artistic privilege where you will, how the people react to it, whatever. Dude, shit, dude, I'm at 16, 16, and 13? Damn. Pat on the back, Dorian? I thought I just head-ass ran it down all game. Yeah, let's go. Right person. Well, him or Santa would have been the correct answers. Like, but, like, no one else has a problem, like, at all. The only person that's still shown a slight bit of a problem with how, anything that's going down is, like, John. And, like, John doesn't have a problem with it because he's racist. He has a problem with it because he beat Pierre's ass and knocked her unconscious against a wall. Right? Like, he doesn't have a problem with him being a faunus. He doesn't have a problem with him being black. Shit, every time Jax brought up a problem about those things, that's not what John meant. John was making conversation both times. Like, he wasn't, being a scumbag. He was just talking to him. Right? Like, when you immediately take, that neutral conversation and make it, politically charged, dude, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's when I stop being friends with people. Because, if I'm having a regular discussion with you, I say something, and don't get me wrong, there's a high likelihood of slightly insensitive. If you suddenly have, a huge issue with it, it's like, dude, you can have a huge issue with it, and it politely asks me to stop. Right? I'm not gonna lie to you, I might not talk to you again. Because, what I say, a lot of the time, is abrasive, unempathetic, and unsympathetic. Because, either I don't care about the people's emotions that are involved, or I think they're, not bad people, but people whose opinions are, a little fucked. And so I don't care. Right? It's just, you get what I mean? It's there's a polite way to go about that. There's a polite way to go about that without being an asshole. Right? If he'd done that to John, he's like, that's a little insensitive, I like if you wouldn't done that. John's a good dude! I'm sure John would have stopped asking questions like that and maybe thought a little more. Or maybe if he said it, just explain. If you're really that upset about it, I know I went on and don't lecture people about it, because that just makes you look like a random asshole. But it's just dude, you could calmly say, I'm sorry, that, upsets and offends me. Would you like me to explain so you do not repeat the mistake? There is civil ways to go about it, and if he says no, stop talking to him. But if he says yes, explain. Like, stop talking to him if that's really, like, an issue you have with him. Well, like, there's better civil ways to go about this other than, like, assuming the moral high ground for something that's completely unrelated. Like, truly. Man's literally knocks the dude's partner unconscious. And what, like, brutally, may I add. And he's like, he takes the moral high ground about knocking her out. He's like, you charged me. I'm like, he charged you for good reason, and then you put your gun in his mouth. Like, I know you, see, and he has a couple of problems with John. At least what I remember. Is he has a problem with the fact John forged his transcript. He saw everything about John and was like, you don't know shit. And I'm like, okay, you can have that personal problem with John, but you keep making it into, like, a different personal problem. Like, you can't have a personal problem with someone and let it seep into every aspect of you conversing with them if you want to keep conversing with them. Just stop talking to them at that point, you fucking bitch. Like, you have the option. You know what taking the moral high ground there is? It's walking away and never talking to him again. Taking the moral high ground there isn't being confrontational and aggravating and intentionally antagonistic at every turn you get. That's not taking the moral high ground, and everyone else seems that he's taking the moral high ground. John charged him. Right? And, like, they've not flagged him as a racist, but let me tell you, they might flag him as a racist. Or at least sure as hell the main character seems to. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'm gonna keep reading it. I'm gonna be upset for the next 15 minutes after I take a fucking shower. Probably gonna read another thing on the toilet and then be spiced out of my mind in the shower. You might not get an episode of the next thing I'm angry about. Unless I rant about it through my shower. But that usually doesn't last with me whimpering in pain as I brush my hair. Okay. Bye. Welcome. You know, this audio is from Return of the Goon, whatever the fuck this one is. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.